Hi, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the entire drawing process of this quick and easy hand drawing using charcoal pencils. So let's get started. So these are the art supplies I'm going to use for this drawing, and you can pause the video right here to note them down. I'm using this A3 size paper from my toned grey mixed media paper pad, and the drawing position area is 11 x 14 inches. Today I'm going to show you the entire drawing process from the initial outlining to the final details. So first of all, I'm drawing this 9 cm line at an angle of almost 40 degrees. I'm using a B graphite pencil for this purpose, and I'm keeping a pressure very light on the pencil. Variation in angle also changes the way the hand looks. If the angle is bigger, the hand becomes straighter, and if the angle is smaller, the hand bends more. I'm keeping the angle at 45 degrees because I like this specific pose or rotation of the hand. Now I'm adding a small dot on the distance of 2.5 cm from the left side of the line. Next, take a compass or protractor and open it to a width of 4.5 cm by measuring with a ruler or scale, just like this. And then draw a circle with this dot as the center. Now I'm changing the distance to 3.5 cm by measuring with a ruler as I did before, and then drawing two circles on both the ends of this straight line. And now you have this basic structure on which I'm going to draw the outline of the hand. Start by darkening the outline of circles by joining them together and reshaping them a little bit from the upper portion. Similarly, darken the lower outline of the bigger circle and then draw the shape of the thumb by adding more curves. Okay, now moving on to the fingers, and first of all I'm going to start with the outlining of the ring finger by adding the mixture of small strokes like this, and then drawing the middle finger on the right side. At the tips of the fingers, draw these mixtures of curved and straight lines to represent the fingernails. I'm repeating the similar process for remaining fingers by keeping the reference image in mind. I've also added some curved strokes in between for the folds and wrinkles of the hand. I was not satisfied with the wrist and arm portion, so I'm erasing it and drawing it a little bit higher than the previous one to get the desired pose for the hand. And by the way, you can get access to our premium content and support this channel through Patreon. You can sign up through different membership levels and get access to all the outline and grid references, etc. We have an ever-growing library of hundreds of exclusive and real-time tutorials, and you will also get access to 4 new tutorials every month. You can also post your artworks in our active community of patrons and participate in our weekly critique sessions where I give my honest and positive critiques on your artworks, so you can improve your skills and get better with your drawing. Visit the link in description and become a premium member today. Okay, so with these simple and easy steps, the outline is done. And before moving on to the shading process, I'm firstly lightening the outline by erasing it using a kneaded eraser. And then I'm adding these curved strokes for the base layer using my H charcoal pencil. I'm also darkening the outline in between so that it doesn't disappear during the blending process. Notice that I'm changing the direction of these curved strokes according to the area I'm working on. I'm also keeping the pressure on my pencil variable to achieve darker and lighter tones for the base layer. And when you're done with adding darker base layer, then start blending this layer using a small dry brush to achieve a smooth base. Make sure to take your time while blending this layer and use a lighter pressure and controlled movements, as the charcoal can easily get smudged. Now moving on to the first layer of highlights or lighter base layer, and I'm using a white pit pastel and adding these small strokes with variable pressure. Notice that I'm keeping the angle of my pencil low to avoid any harsh line or stroke. I'm adding these curved horizontal strokes for the wrist folds and wrinkles, and then blending this layer using a mini dry brush with a lighter pressure. And make sure not to overblend the shades or else you will lose important details. Okay, so the darker and lighter base layers are done. Let's move on to the detailing process. Now I'm adding these darker strokes in between and over the previous ones using a charcoal pencil. Always add these details very carefully, as one wrong stroke or detail will make the overall drawing look deformed. I'm gradually building up layers of charcoal, and this simple step will help in achieving depth and intensity in darker tones. Make sure to keep the tip of your charcoal pencil sharp while adding these sharp and intricate details. But also make sure to apply controlled pressure on your pencils, as too much pressure can break the pencil tip and it can create unwanted smudges. I'm also adding these small curved strokes for the knuckle wrinkles. Such small details help in achieving realistic result in the end. Now I'm layering the charcoal to achieve desired darkness and textures as different layers interact together and give realistic results. And then I'm blending this layer carefully using a small dry brush. Again, make sure not to overblend this layer as all the important details and texture you have added will fade away. Okay, so now I'm adding this final layer of highlights using the white pastel, and I'm mainly focusing on the areas where light is hitting directly. I'm adding highlights on the areas between the darker strokes to mimic the appearance of fold or wrinkles, and then adding softer and blending highlights on the edge of the wrist and top of the fingers. This step will immediately make it look 3D and realistic. Okay, now I'm blending the ends of these highlights very carefully with a very small dry brush. Using a small dry brush here is very important as bigger dry brush will smudge the shades together, which we do not want. I'm going back and forth with my tools to further fine tune the details and highlights. And now I'm using a perfection eraser and erasing the spills of the shades outside the outline and adjusting the highlights in between using a white pastel. It will make the outline look more crisp and clean. And with this last step, I'm done with this super easy and realistic charcoal hand drawing. If you got any questions or thoughts about this drawing, feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. And don't miss the chance to show off your own creations in the Patreon community tab. You will get awesome feedback and tips from me and other patrons as well to level up your skills. So once again, big thanks for being a part of our Patreon community, and I will catch you in the next one.